Lesson 151.
Where's my flu shot? Flu shots cost $20 at the drugstore. Only a few people are buying flu shots. There are no long lines. No one is waiting in line. If you want the flu shot, pay $20. You don't have to wait in line. You can get the flu shot immediately. The mayor announced free flu shots. He said, "We will give free flu shots to everyone. Come to the library on Saturday." On Saturday, 2,000 people went to the library. They stood in line for 4 hours. After 4 hours, there were no more free flu shots. They ran out of free flu shots. The drugstore still has many flu shots. But the flu shots at the drugstore aren't free. They cost $20.
Lesson 152.
Will he marry me? She walked along the sidewalk. She wasn't paying attention. She was thinking about her boyfriend. He made her angry. He said he didn't want to marry her now. He wanted to marry her later. She wanted to get married now. She didn't want to get married later. Why didn't he want to marry her now? Maybe he didn't want to marry her later, either. Maybe he didn't want to marry her ever. Maybe he wanted to meet someone else. Maybe he wanted to marry someone else. She walked straight into a bench. She hurt her leg. Her leg started bleeding. She sat down on the bench. Her leg hurt so much. She tried to stop the bleeding.
Lesson 153.
The teacher. He loved his job. He had a good job. He was a teacher. He loved to teach. He loved his students. He loved to teach his students. His students listened to him. His students listened to almost every word he said. His students learned from him. They learned how to spell words. They learned how to pronounce words. They learned how to ask questions. They learned how to answer questions. They learned how to think. He taught them how to think. Don't believe everything you hear, he said. Don't believe everything you read, he said. Don't believe everything you see, he said. Use your head. If something sounds too good to be true, it usually is, he said.
Lesson 154.
A clean church. The janitor cleaned the church every day. He swept the floor with a broom. He mopped the floor with a mop. He vacuumed the carpet with a vacuum cleaner. He cleaned all the windows with a wet cloth. He cleaned the men's bathroom. He cleaned the women's bathroom. He cleaned the sinks in the bathrooms. He cleaned the toilets in the bathrooms. He cleaned the mirrors in the bathrooms. He scrubbed the steps outside the church. He scrubbed the steps with soapy water and a brush. He kept the steps clean. He kept the windows clean. He kept the bathrooms clean. He kept the floors clean. The steps were clean. The windows were clean. The bathrooms were clean. The floors were clean. It was a clean church.
Lesson 155.
Can I borrow $1,000? She was angry. She was angry with her brother. Her brother didn't help her. She needed to borrow $1,000. She had asked her brother to lend her $1,000. He said no. Her brother said he didn't have $1,000. Her brother was lying. Her brother had $10,000. He had 10 times $1,000. Why did he lie to her? Why didn't he tell her the truth? Why didn't he lend her $1,000? She said, I know you have $10,000. All I want is $1,000. I will pay you back next year. You will get your money back next year. He said no. He said people shouldn't borrow money. He said people shouldn't lend money. But I'm not people, she said. I'm your sister.